What is up, Pyromaniacs? Pyrostasis here, and we're in a new camera location. Same room, but new camera location. And I've kind of held off doing this video because I don't know. Every time I make a video like this, I feel bad because I feel like I'm making you guys feel bad, and I don't want to do that. But at the same time, with the way things are going to go down, things are going to change, and I have to inform you. So I don't want this to come off like I'm asking you guys for money or anything along those lines. So just wanted to preface what we're doing so that you guys don't think that we're doing that. And some of you will still think that, but it is what it is. Unfortunately, there's nothing I can do about it. It's my channel though, and I have to let you guys know what's going on. So, you guys know that I have been in kind of a very precarious financial situation since about mid-March, where I get hit with about $6,000 in chargebacks. That also happened to be around the time where my Minecraft server, due to those chargebacks, I wasn't able to, keep my staff going, and I had to fire the staff basically. Well, not fire, lay off. Lay off is a better term. And so because of that, I have been cash light. Basically, my entire savings was gone, et cetera, et cetera. And we did have a fundraiser, and the fundraiser was great. It allowed me to basically keep going. But unfortunately, due to those other two things, my income dipped, and unfortunately, we were able to meet basically the income dip, but things haven't turned around as fast as I had hoped. And, that's how things are on YouTube, especially considering, anytime you make money on YouTube, it's not instantaneous. It takes usually about a month and a half, 2 months for that to go through. So, for this month right here, I won't get paid for it till July. So even if you make progress, then it takes a while. And unfortunately, a lot of this has taken, a toll on my mood. And, then I got sick last week. Plus I've been having computer problems. It's been a really shitty year. And we're just getting started. Well, actually, I guess we're not getting started anymore. We're halfway through the damn year at this point. God, dude, as you get older, time just starts flying. I heard somebody mention the other day that life is like, and I'm sorry, I don't know if you guys can hear the car alarm in the background, but apparently my neighbors are having fun with their car, and instead of turning it off, they're just going to rock out to it for a little bit. I think it's light enough you guys probably won't hear it, but it's driving me crazy. But anyways, I heard a quote recently that life is like a roll of toilet paper, and as you pull it, when you first get started, it seems slow. But as you get closer and closer to the end, those revolutions happen faster and faster and faster. And life seems kind of like that. Not that I'm anywhere near the end of my life, but it does seem to get quicker. So anyways, for those of you guys who've been following me on Twitter, watch the stream, et cetera, you'll know that I've been talking about going back to school. Reason for that is, for the first time in 4 years, since I've been doing this gig, it's gotten to the point now where I'm not sure I'm going to be able to do this for the rest of my life and support me. Now, I mean, I can do it for the rest of my life, but whether or not this job will be a job and not just a hobby, and whether or not it can pay my bills. And I'd hoped to be able to turn this around, but it's starting to look like that's going to be less and less possible, at least quick enough, because when you're an adult, you unfortunately have to pay bills and things along those lines. And, you can't just say, hey, electric company, kind of going through some shit right now. Do you think maybe I could pay you next month? Yeah, they don't do that. They don't do that. So my family's been nice. They've helped me out. My brother's helped me out. But, I don't want to be a leech off my family. I don't want to be, a hardship on my brother, et cetera, et cetera. And, at a certain point in time, it's like, okay, it's not working. We're going to have to do something else. So I have applied. Well, I've been accepted to college. It's an online course, so it's not going to pull me away from my job or from YouTube, so to speak. But I will be doing that. So some of my time is going to be devoted to that pretty aggressively. So I'm going to be going back to school, get my degree in business. Business marketing management, I think, is the official title. So it's a business degree. It has marketing overtones and it has management overtones. So it's basically like the trifecta, at least for me, because, you've got a decent business base, you've got a management base, and I'm going to be doing marketing, which is what basically the last 4-5 years of my life have been focused on, more or less. That's basically what YouTube is. You're running a brand, you're managing a brand, you're marketing yourself, you're marketing products, et cetera, et cetera. And, learning all of the ins and outs and what goes with that, I've got 4 years of experience, which I can actually utilize to market on a resume or CV for you European folks. And it goes well with what I've been doing. Whereas, if I went back to what I was doing before YouTube, IT, I've got a 4-year job gap where, I haven't been doing anything related to it. So I start school in August. So August 1st, knock on wood, unless there's any other, issues or whatnot, is when I'll start that. That being said, there's some other stuff going on with the family right now. My parents are wanting to retire, but they have some financial issues regarding that. My brother's wanting to move out of the house, not because he doesn't want to be with me, but he wants to be closer to his work. He works about an hour away. So that's 2 hours a day, 14 hours a week. Well, not 14 hours a week, 10 hours a week in the car, not counting traffic. And he's wanting to live a little bit closer to work, and I don't blame him. So I'm not sure what's going to happen. This month, I'm way light. It's the first time I've been, I'm like $1,000 light. So I can't do it anymore, I guess, in the aspect, that, okay, we're going to be all right. Because at this point, we've hit critical mass. The reactor is going to melt down. It is going to explode. So I have to do some other stuff. So my family and I are going to be working on some stuff. There may be a way that while I'm in school, I might be able to continue doing YouTube full time. That way I can do school full time, YouTube full time, and nothing will change for you guys. That being said, as early as probably next month, I may end up looking for work. And if that's the case, then I will be getting full-time employment doing something similar to what I do now, but for a larger company. And my time is going to drop. So because I'll be doing that and school. Obviously, I'll be doing the job first for like a month or so, and then starting school in August. So with that going down, obviously full-time work, full-time school, then YouTube, something's going to give. So I don't know what schedule-wise we would do. Right now I upload usually 2 videos a week, or not a week, 2 videos a day, every day, 7 days a week. And then I stream 3 days a week. With work, if I end up having to go back to work, and like I said, it's looking more and more likely like that's going to be the case. If I end up going back to work, I honestly don't know what that's going to do to YouTube. I won't know until, obviously I see what my schedule is. I see the living arrangements. I may be moving. I don't know. So ideally, what I would like to happen, obviously, is to be able to do school, be able to do work here on YouTube and continue things on. And the good news is if I can do that, I might be able to fix things by the time stuff turns around. If not, then, we're going to do work. Work's going to have to come first because I got to feed myself. And then after that, school, and then YouTube and streaming. So if that happens, most likely what will happen is YouTube will continue because I enjoy doing YouTube regardless. I mean, YouTube's going to continue regardless. We may not have as much content as we do, and content might change. And by that, I mean, if I'm working, I'm going to be doing pretty much what I want to do, et cetera, et cetera. So we may get a content shift. Some of you guys are going to like that content shift. Some of you guys are not. It is what it is. Life changes things on you. The only thing that's constant in life is death and taxes. Everything else changes, So, one day you may be doing this, next day you may be doing that. We'll see. As for the stream, I don't know. It literally depends on how I feel. So it may end up that we come home and we stream at night after work and after school. It may mean that I, come home at night and I do YouTube and school. I don't know. Like I said, I'll let you guys know in the coming weeks. It just kind of depends on where we end up and how things go down. So at the moment, everything is chaotic. And I apologize if that comes over into content, like if my mood's grumpy or something along those lines. I'm doing my best to stay positive. It's just, this is something I've poured like my entire soul into since 2011, October. And, now it's changing, now, I'm not losing it, so to speak. It's not like my business is going under and I'm never going to be able to do it again. It's one of the nice things about YouTube is, even if nobody watches you anymore, you can still, you could still do it. but it is hard. It is hard to, have that dream that you thought you had, and it's kind of slipping a little bit. And, I'm not, don't take this as I'm, yelling at you guys for not watching, or yelling at you for not liking this, or, I'm complaining because it's not fair or anything along those lines. No, it's my fault. The issue that came down is when I got into YouTube initially, I didn't know how YouTube works, which is how everything goes. And I got into Skyrim, and I got into Skyrim in a big way with tips and tricks and things along those lines. It jumped, and I jumped into Let's Plays, and Let's Plays never did as well as my tips and tricks did. Tips and tricks were literally what got me into YouTube, and probably something I should have stuck with. And I kind of have a bit scatterbrained nature in the aspect that I get interested in a lot of little things, and then I tire of them quickly. So, I like, Skyrim, that's great. Okay, I'm bored of it. Ooh, Fallout New Vegas. Oh, I like it. I'm bored of it. And then we bounce around to all these different games. And the problem with that is you end up building an audience of all these little micro communities, and then you move on to the next one, and these 2 micro communities like it, these 3 don't, and you're basically dividing your community. And to be successful on YouTube, with a few exceptions, you kind of need to focus on certain things. Pick a game or 2 or 3 in the same genre and play them, and that's what you do. Quill 18 is known for strategy games. He plays strategy games. Northern Lion is known for Binding of Isaac. He plays those. Those type of games. When you have that, it's consistent, and you know what you're getting. You would be kind of upset if 24, the TV series, came on, and one year it's Jack Bauer versus the world and all of that, and then the next year it's a cooking show. And obviously it's not quite that drastic, but you get the idea. So that plus, I am a tendency to be an early adopter. So, last year when YouTube was going through some content ID bullshit and some things, I thought things were going to go in a different way. And so I kind of jumped ship early, thinking, all right, get into Twitch now. Everything's going to be okay. We can do this. This should work. And it didn't. And YouTube didn't. And it was like, oh, we completely misread that entire thing. So, my time got invested in that, plus the Minecraft server, which took ridiculous amounts of time. And I ended up having a bunch of little small side projects that were great for a while, but didn't really develop and go anywhere. And so because of that, I've got all these little small bags, but I don't have the big bag that I need. So what I'm going to do, regardless of school and work and all of that, is as soon as I can get myself out of this like mental and emotional funk, because like right now I just want to curl up in the closet over there and just suck my thumb for a little while, and I'm fighting that back. You got to beat depression back with like a stick. You cannot let that monster take hold. But anyways, there's going to be a little bit more consolidation on the channel. For the first time, hopefully, in a while, I'm going to focus on a few things, and I'm going to focus on them hard. And some of them are going to work. Some of them are not. And either way, I have to go back to what I started with and realize that, all right, I made 4 videos in this. The first one did great. Second 2 didn't do so well. All right, fuck it. Let's move on. I can't do that anymore. So I'm going to have to focus on consistency, focus on, get a schedule up, get some of the basics that I've kind of let slip, and kind of bring those up. So what does that mean for you guys? Well, especially with work and school, depending on how things go, like I said, if the work thing clicks on, then we're going to switch YouTube from job to fun mode. And fun mode's going to be different. And if we don't, and we stick it with work, then we're going to stay in job mode. But at the same time, we're going to be more focused. So what does phone mode look like? Fun mode looks like Overwatch. It looks like CSGO, and probably like Dark Souls. That would be what the fun mode would look like. What does work mode look like? Probably Overwatch, like tips and tricks and things like that, maybe, plus some funsy stuff. CSGO highlights, and Ark survival ball. Now, well, I noticed you didn't say Ark was in the fun mode. Do you not like Ark? No, I like Ark. I think Ark's fun. But it takes a lot of time. So I don't know. I don't know. I need things, especially if I end up having to get back into work and school. I need things I can get on, do, record, and get out. And, you know, stuff that I know I can be funny in, or informative, or funny and informative. And certain things require a lot of time. A lot of time. You know, like Warhammer. That's a game. I love the lore on it. I love the lore on Warhammer. But the game itself is frustrating for me because I don't understand, as somebody colorfully put it, the basics. But it's, you know, I got to learn how to move the units. I got to learn how to, you know, quickly adjust certain things. There's hotkeys, there's commands, and the tutorial just like completely doesn't cover any of this shit. So it's just like, yeah, you know, you're just supposed to know that you need to use this type of formation and this type of halting mechanics. And thankfully I have some loose strategy things, so I know what a flank is. But can you imagine going into that game without knowing what a flank is, and cavalry and like all the different unit types is like, oh, okay, well, spearman counters this, but cavalry counters that, and this, and you know, and by the time it's over, I've spent 45 minutes just trying to figure out how to play the damn game so I can record a 20-minute video so I can get it to you guys. And, you know, things like, I don't know, you know, some of the Minecraft content can be a lot like that too, when you've got like 4 or 5 or 6 wikis open and you're trying to figure out how to get, you know, okay, I got to turn this machine on, and to turn it on, I need this and this and this, and I need to make this machine connect with that machine. And these are 2 different mods. And why don't these 2 mods work together? Oh, okay. Well, there's a bug report here from 2014. Is that bug still relevant, or has it been fixed? Oh, it's been fixed here. This is why, you know, and by that time you've spent an hour researching it. So, I'm going to have to get a little bit more time efficient with certain things, especially with full-time school and possibly full-time work, on top of YouTube, which is basically like 2 full-time jobs as well. So like I said all that to say, I'm not quite sure where we're going to end up going. I'm not sure what we're going to end up doing. So you basically made an update to say you have no idea what's going on? Pretty much. Things are kind of in flux. And we'll just kind of see where things go. So that being said, for the time being, I'm going to do my best to maintain the stream schedule that we've currently got: Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays. We're going to finish the series that we got. I just concluded Dark Souls 3. I am going to attempt to do a PvP series on there if I can get it working and get the time. We're going to finish Subnautica. We're going to start into Ark. We're going to finish Fallout 4. Warhammer, I'm on the fence of it because, like, I enjoy the lore side of the game and I can see the potential there, but it's just not my kind of game, like, at all. It's weird. It's like got the parts of 4X games that I don't necessarily like and the army controls that I don't like, and put them all together into one game, which a lot of people do enjoy, but it's just not for me. It's kind of like my brother. My brother can come home and he can eat spinach and scrambled eggs together like every day for like 8 months to lose weight. I can't do that. He can do that, and somehow he enjoys it. I don't even get that. How the fuck do you enjoy that? So that's kind of, it's just different things. You know, some people like, you know, burgers with bacon. Some people like burgers with no cheese. I don't know how you like a burger with no cheese. Something's wrong with you. You should get yourself checked. You're probably a communist. Not that there's anything wrong with communists. There's totally something wrong with communists. But please watch my videos. But yeah, I don't know what we're going to necessarily do. And that's kind of the problem that we're running into now is, you know, I'm so desperate to try and fix things and make things work and get things back to where I need them to be. And, you know, I know how to do what I need to do. The problem is, what are we going to do? You know, I can do it with this game, and I can do it with this game, and I can do it with this game. So I've got like 13 roads in front of me, and all of them go in different directions. And some of them are good roads, and some of them, you know, they're the highway to hell. And, you know, I've got to pick one because I can't stand where I'm at, because where I'm at isn't functional. It's not working. And I got to make this choice. And it sucks because I don't know where the road goes. You know, it's like, okay, we need to get to Florida and we're in Maine and we have 5 roads to choose and only 2 of them go to Florida, but we don't get to know which one goes to Florida, and we got to get to Florida. And so you just pick one at blind, and then it's like, oh fuck, dude, we're 2 miles down the road, and we're over in like South Dakota. What the fuck? Well, yeah, we're in South Dakota right now, but it eventually ends up in Florida. But you don't realize that. But you realize you're in South Dakota. So then you take a left, and now you're in California. And yeah, my analogies and my stories are getting a little crazy, but hopefully some of you are following my logic. So I don't know. At the moment, I'm really frustrated. I guess I could say I'm actually angry, not necessarily with anybody. And I'm not angry at anybody. I'm angry at like the situation and then like the challenge that life has thrown me. And at the same time, I'm kind of motivated to defeat it and to fix it. And, that's usually how I work is, when when stress is high and things are exploding and everything's going crazy, that's usually when I have some of my better ideas. But I've been in this mode for so long. Like I've been struggling with this for a year now, and it's gotten exhausting. It's gotten to the point now, it's like I want to take, like, honestly, I'd like to take a break, and I don't mean like quit YouTube or quit streaming. I mean just like take an actual vacation for 2 weeks, walk away for a little bit, and catch my breath and just let it all go. But unfortunately, I'm not in a position where I can do that. So so I've got to like, pull to the side of the road, step out and be like, all right, give myself a pep talk, go watch Independence Day and, get myself motivated again and get back to it and kind of try and shake it off. But, it is when something that you love is also the thing that feeds you and isn't working the way you want. It's stressful in just like a completely different way. Cause it's like your child that you love, but at the same time, it's disappointing and frustrating because it's not doing what you want it to do, but you're stuck with it. And I don't know, it's hard to put into words, but I think I said it to Swan earlier today. It's like, I've got 2 handfuls of sand and I'm trying to hang on to them and they're just slipping through my fingers. And it's frustrating because you can see it slipping and you don't want it to, but you haven't quite figured out how to get it into like a container that it's not going to slip through yet. So things are going to be a little weird probably for the next, I don't know, week or two while I get everything sorted out. Hopefully some clarity comes through. I should know if JJ's moving out, hopefully in the next month. I should know if I still don't know what my parents are doing. I don't know if they're moving in here. I don't know if I don't know. So, and then I don't know about the school thing. I don't know about the job thing. All I know is things are fucked up right now. So anyways, hopefully I haven't depressed you guys too much. I did want to let you guys know what's going on, why things may be a little weird for a little while. And, I don't want any of you guys thinking I'm blaming you guys or, I'm asking for help or anything along those lines. I'll take help, but I don't want you guys to think I'm trying to guilt you into, writing me a check or something. I'm not doing that. I'm not begging. At this point, it's pretty clear that, I've made a mistake and some stuff have gone awry and I'm going to have to fix it and I'm going to have to pay the price for screwing it up. And that may be doing some other things for a little while. And, it may be that I work another job for a little while and then things bounce back and then I can come back. It may be that, this time of my life or this road of my life is come to a conclusion, at least from a business standpoint, and there may be something else out there that's even better, and that's the nice thing about life is when one door closes, another one opens. And YouTube hasn't closed yet, but the door's kind of cracked and I can maybe get a finger through there, but I'm worried it might shut on my hand and chop my fingers off. So we'll see where things go. Like I said, to clarify, content's not going anywhere. Even if I have to get a job and have to get work, there's still going to be videos. They just may change. So we'll see. Things are going to get interesting, and I will let you guys know where we're at, what's going on in my life. So at least you guys, know what's going on. And I just ask that, you guys be a little bit patient with me as I figure this stuff out. I'm going to be in a weird place for a little while, both, financially, emotionally, and I may even be physically somewhere else. So it does look like I won't be recording in this room either way for very long. So anyways, yeah. I feel a little bit better getting all that out. So we'll see where we end up. I'm excited about what the future holds one way or another. I'm going to get through it. You know, life's not going to kick my ass. I'm going to kick its ass. It's one round. It's run round. Well, this isn't round 1. This is like round 50. So it's one around. I'll come back. I'm going to go sit in my corner, drink a little water. My corner man's going to rub some Vaseline on my face, close up that cut, and we're going to come back in and kick life's ass. So, but anyways, guys, that's pretty much it for this update video. A lot of content coming out this week. Ark, Fallout, Subnautica. Those are the guaranteeds. Warhammer, I'm still on the fence about. And there was one other game. Maybe not. Oh, Dark Souls. Yes. I don't know what I'm doing with that yet. I'll get back to you. Anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this video. Hopefully you guys liked it, or at least just didn't hate it. If you did, slap that like button. Make sure you subscribe. And I'll catch you guys in the next clip.